everyone, today's tutorial is dramatic and sultry. We have an interesting eyeshadow placement that does cool things to the shape of the eye. The best thing about this look is that it's totally affordable. Let's start. Brows first. I'm using a brow powder by ModelCo. I like this one because it has a great ashy shade, which is actually quite hard to find. The payoff is soft, so I'm using a damp brush to amp up the pigment. We'll be doing our eyes before our base today. I kind of dread doing it this way because everything looks like a mess until the 7th minute, but the only thing I dread more is fallout, so what do? I'm using select shadows from two sleek palettes today. Recently I've noticed an improvement in the sleek formula actually. All of these shades are pigmented, there's an awesome range of colors, fantastic price point. What more could you ask for? Starting with a matte tan shade through the crease to contour the socket. This is the bread and the butter for most of my eye looks. I contour the socket and then decide what I'm doing. Taking a darker plum, we're deepening the socket further and introducing a bit of color that will later become the basis of this eye look. The strongest element in this makeup is a punchy central lid highlight. So let's map it out with a white base. Place a vertical stripe in the center of the lid, but not into the socket, and then dab out the edges with a finger. Take care to place it directly in the center, or it could give a slightly cross-eyed appearance. I know this from experience. Now taking a dark shimmery purple, we're shading the outer and the inner portions of the lid. This is sometimes called a tulip placement or a sandwich placement. It goes by a few names, but the idea is to sandwich a highlight between darker shades. Note that I'm confining that purple just to the corners, well away from that white base because we'll be needing that right about now. Take a rusty gold eyeshadow and a wet pencil brush. We are packing that foiled eyeshadow over the white base. Don't hold back, go crazy, more is more. I think the gold and plum is very autumnal, but feel free to switch this for any combo of light and dark shades. Navy and silver, for example, would look phenomenal. You can go back with the brush that we used earlier to melt the edges a bit, but resist the urge to blend the edges entirely because you'll lose impacts and we want that highlight to stand apart from the rest of the eye. Carefully going back in with that matte plum into the crease. I'm raising my eyebrows here as it helps to access the socket without disrupting the lid. We worked pretty hard on that lid. You could stop there, but I wanted the contrast to be even stronger, so I took a blackened purple and dabbed that on the very outer and inner corners of the eye. Extra darkness makes the highlight look brighter. Tightline the top lashes with a black pencil. This is the Milani Liquid Eye, which holds up okay, but not the best. If you have any other suggestions, I would love to know. I don't think this eye look needs elaborate eyeliner, but if you want a wing, you do it. If you decide to use lashes, pick a pair that are longest in the center, as opposed to winged out lashes. Then wait for the glue to get tacky, have a dance break. These particular lashes are the Manicare Alessandra lash. I am so wowed by these. Very well made and so easy to apply. Since we're not wearing liner, we need the lashes to be sitting as close to the lash line as possible. I find that pinching the lashes together is the easiest way to achieve this. Clean up any fallout, I'm using my face cream. You could use an eye cream or a cleansing water. For under eye concealer, we're mixing an illuminating concealer with a higher coverage concealer to achieve the best of both worlds. If you watched my under eye concealer smackdown, you know my concealer conundrum. It's an ongoing battle. Now that the lash glue has dried, I'm adding a bit of mascara to blacken my natural lashes. This is the Jordana Best Lash Extreme. It's a good one. I have a few backups. The lower lash line is an important part of this eyeshadow look. White base in the center as before, but this time I'm also pushing that pencil on the waterline, only in the center. Then essentially we're going to mirror what we did on the lid onto the lower lash line. So dark shimmery purple on either side of that highlight, rusty gold over the white base, don't be shy, don't overblend, and black and purple on the outermost portions. Black pencil once again, we're lining the outer and inner portions of the waterline, which adds more contrast. Final touch, I'm taking our tan eyeshadow and using a tapered brush, shading directly under our colour on the lower lash line, almost where your eye bag would be. Shade them eye bags. But Karima, what does it all mean? I like to think of it as a diamond-shaped eye. We've slimmed out the edges of the eye with dark shades and created height with strong highlights. I have quite round eyes, and it's pretty cool that you can alter the shape of your eye with clever darkness and highlight. Mascara on the lower lashes frames the shading nicely. Now at this point, I said to myself, we've come this far. Why not add some lilac around the tear duct? That's just how my mind works. For foundation, finally, I'm using a mixture of the L'Oreal True Match and the Bourjois Healthy Mix. You've seen me use this combo before. I think it is absolutely beautiful and rivals all of my high-end foundations. I discovered it while trying to achieve a better shade match, and I am so thankful. If you own both, definitely try mixing them. I'm using a pressing motion with my fingers to really melt the product into the skin. Setting the entire face with the Maybelline Fit Me powder, I use this a lot in my real life. Tones down any unwanted shine and tackiness, but it doesn't look powdery. I really like it. Here is my little collection of Catrice eyeshadows. This is a drugstore brand available in parts of Europe, I believe. I'm taking a shade called Starlight Expresso, which is a soft grey, and I'm using that to contour. If you are using a flat out grey shade to contour, like I am today, keep your placements confined with a small brush. You don't want the entire complexion to look grey. Is Soap & Glory considered to be a drugstore brand? I'm not entirely sure about this one, but for the purpose of this tutorial, let's say it is. This is the Glow All Out powder, which I purchased because of the lovely Sharon Farrell. I'm using it as a highlight today, but it has a pinkened undertone, so it could work as a soft blush on pale skin tones. For lips, I have a soft spot for the NYX matte lip creams. I'm using a shade called Stockholm, which is a medium rosy brown. I have pigmented lips, so this is a good neutral shade when I'm rocking a strong eye. Word of warning, the paler shades in this line are not kind to dry or textured lips, but I really love the matte finish. Tossing between two blushes here, I decided on the Coral because this look is actually pretty warm. The blushes are by a brand called Femme, and while not drugstore, they are crazy affordable, like $2 each. And that is the final look. It goes to show that you don't need to shell out a lot of cash to create a high impact look. If you enjoyed this tutorial, then let me know in a comment. I love to chat to you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will speak to you very soon. Bye bye.